You want to see how I turn this into this? Keep watching.
This is what I bought from Home Goods. This is what it looks like, right? Um, I have seen several of these for sale on Etsy, just like this. um, I bought this one actually. I just bought it for my office, right, to put in the studio on the door. Um, I was going to just take the balls off and change the ribbon, make it look a little bit more pleasing and up to my style. But instead, I bought some hydrangeas stems. I bought them online. When they came in, I was highly disappointed. I bought a set of 16. If you were going to make four yourself, this is kind of like what they look like on, but obviously it had a stem. But this is what they look like. I didn't like them, right? I was very disappointed. So I am going to cut these off and turn them into my own kind of design for these. Um, Either I'll keep them for myself and then I'll have two like for inside of the studio door, outside of the studio door, or I don't know, they're turning out really good. I think I might put them on my Etsy shop. Hold on, let me show you. So here's the ones that I made. Um, this is what the ring I was going to use. I just used some stiff wire and then I put the pearls around it. I only wanted the pearls to go so far. I didn't want them to go all the way around. I twisted the wire. I should have recorded this part and I didn't. I'm sorry. But I twisted the wire around itself here and then I added some rope here. That way the ribbon, and I measured it. I wanted it the exact width of the ribbon so that the ribbon will set. I can glue the ribbon down to it here. And this is what it'll kind of look like. Let me zoom out. There you go. So this is what they'll look like versus the Home Goods version. So I'm going to do 4 of them. I've done 3 so far. So here's the 3 that I've done. And we're going to do one more, and I'll show you how I do those. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff to get done today. Let's get these out of the way. These, I would recommend 5. So these are 5 stems. You know, I took each one of these off of a stem. I would recommend 5 per ball. I already put the ribbon in. I'm sorry. I will explain how I did that, but I was just in a hurry and was pushing all the ribbons in before I got started. But this is the size ball that I'm using. I would recommend if you have something about this size, I would recommend 5 of these. I had 16. I had to divide them, so I had 16. Each ball that I used 4 of these, and I had some extra little pieces off of other hydrangeas that I just kind of filled in with. But if you use, that's because I had to use 4. If you use 5, you should be good. I've already cut 2 of those down, so here's those. And then I will cut these other 2 ones down and show you how I do that. So just right here at the base, this is what mine look like. You can like play with yours, but I'm going to cut them here. Leave a little knob, that way I can have something to kind of push into the foam. Cut them like this all the way around. And then I'm left with this. I have 3 that are single standing. They're not on a form. I'm going to pull those up. Take my electrical tape. I've already cut little strips for it. Make sure I don't get any of the petals. And then just twirl it around there. Bind them together. Take my scissors. Cut that off. And then I'm left with this. We'll add that over there. We'll do this last one more time. Okay, so I'm cutting out the stems. I leave about this much on there. I'm pushing this into the foam like this, and then I'll put I'll put a bead of hot glue, a glob of hot glue right there behind it. But if you don't have the little, lip on there, it'll be hard. You'd have to actually hold it with your hand um, to get it to stick. And then if it sticks very well, give or take, depends. So that's why I cut this little knob off here. Also, before we get started, I'm going to be using a low temp hot glue gun. I always use a low temp because I'm mostly working with ribbons and florals, and low temp is just fine. So we'll get this one wrapped and then we'll get started. Okay, I like to keep all my pieces separate. So I have 3, I should have 4. I'll have 4 of these. I'll have to find the next other one. It's in here somewhere. But these are my extra pieces. Like I said, if you use 5 tops, you won't need, look at that one, just hanging out. If you use 5 tops, you won't need that. I need these extra pieces that I know they don't really match very well, but I need them for extra filler. So I'll try to put those in and then put these around it so it's not so obvious. But once you get all your pieces cut, we can get started on this. Let me show you how I attached the ribbon here before I get started, because I'll probably fast forward through a lot of this stuff. I take my pliers like this. I use these, it doesn't matter what pliers, but I use these more than anything. I stick them in there like that, punch and pull. It gives me a slit. I fold and tack my ribbon with a dollop of glue right there. Then I take the ribbon and I'll place it right there. You can put I put hot glue in here, and then I'll take my pliers again and kind of press the ribbon down. Then I'll go back with the hot glue here, and then flip it over, kind of pull it to the side a little bit and do a little bit of strip of hot glue right there. That way it's just really sturdy. And that's how I did this one, and that's how I did the other 3 as well. So this is kind of what it looks like, and it's got a good hold. It's a good tight hold on there. So it's not going, this isn't going anywhere. All right, now let's get started on attaching the hydrangeas to the ball. And when we get this one done, I'm going to add some yellows into it because my theme will be blue and yellow. So we'll add some yellows into them, and then we'll put all this together. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all real fast how I do this. And then I will fast forward. So I basically take one of my stems, press it down, and then hot glue right behind it, and then kind of fluff it a little bit, move on to the next section. kind of look at it, hold it up and look at it. Oh, look, see right there, the camera picked that one up good. There's a big gap right there. So we're going to repeat the process. Poke, put some glue in there. And, oh, where'd it go? There we go. Have that one. There will be some more holes, obviously. But we're going to cover those up too. So this is just our first layer, our first base layer. And we're going to let this dry. We're going to move on to adding our yellows. This is the stems that I'm going to use. I'm going to pull these off of here. Yes. Maybe. Here's the stems that I'm going to use. I'll be using. Get these pulled off there. I want them to have a little bit that I can glue and get the glue into the base. So like this one, I don't want a bunch of sticks sticking up. So I'm going to cut it like this. I'm going to leave that because that gives me leverage to push. Well, maybe not that much, but like this. That gives me leverage to push in there. Okay, so I have 4 balls. We're going to figure out, I'm just going to put these in piles, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then we'll go 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. These into our balls, just randomly. I don't want a whole bunch. I don't want the yellows to, take up a bunch of the focus. Find a little spot where the greenery might be sticking through a little bit. Poke that in there and then move on. All right. And then, let's see, I think this one's this one we just finished? I think it's this one. Oh, look, see here, you guys? What happens is you just stick it back down there. That's why we fluff, right? Little stringies. All right, well, I guess we gotta let those dry. Get y'all zoomed way out so you can see. This is what we're working. Okay, so we're going to make a really simple bow. So here's our ribbon. I'm going to use this yellow ribbon. I also cut a smaller piece here. I'm going to take the smaller piece first and go right here, right above that seam. And then we're going to flip it back over. Can you all see what I'm doing here? Okay, so there's that. All right, for the bow, I just take my two pieces, try to get them, about even, and then tie a bow. I mean, that's basically the easiest, most simplest way to make a bow. Then, once you have your bow made, before tightening it, you can maneuver these pieces around and get them to be going in the right direction and the way that you want them to go. Take the bow. This piece is not wrapped enough. There we go. Sorry, it showed a gap there. So we'll put that down a little bit better. Try to get rid of that gap that was there. All right, let's get y'all zoomed out as far as you possibly can. And here's the finished product. Get all your stringies off, and there you go. There you have it. Okay, so here it is on my door, on the door handle.